a job where you come to work and people clap for you, it would change your entire mood.
We don't have any plans at the moment to do PC.
Or you can grow a conscience in the next 5 minutes and see where that takes you.
Don't this hit make my people wanna stop? Don't this hit make my people wanna stop? Don't this hit make my people wanna stop?
Watch the series finale of X-Men next Saturday morning. Check your local listing.
What the hell going on?
Oh, we heard tale of a party. Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style.
There can be only one magical Negro.
Como el Tiki que llama que buena baila usted a la vuelta papi otra vez llegó los negros de.
It won't take long when there's a song to help you set the pace.
Howling hard from the heart.
This is pathetic.
Where we used to live.
Life could be worse.
This is the worst.
This is the worst.
This is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal.
Ai, menina, vida, chega aí. Ai, menina, vida, chega aí. Vai, quebra, tem mais, vai. Menina, chega aí. Vai, olha, danado. Eita!
And the Disney star just keeps going down and down and down.
I'm bag of pixie dust. Contraband.
They're going to do the Mary Poppins thing. They're going to do it. They're going to do it.
Magic mirror on the wall. The fairest one of all.
Oh, bitch, you killed Kenny.
Kenny.
You fat hoe.
I get it. I'm not persecuted. I'm just an ass.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Lorena Creole, of course, always bringing you that spice when it comes to sci-fi and pop culture analysis, and always keeping it real when it comes to theme parks. And speaking of keeping it real and putting those spicy hot takes out there, this is the Spice Lounge, where we have no filter except for common courtesy. That's the only filter that we have on this show. We are beholden to no one. We are no respecter of persons. We just put it out there and we let you guys do with it what you will. And I always keep saying this, but thanks so much to all of you who watch the show live, who watch the show on the reruns, replay. I said reruns, replay. And, you comment and all that. I appreciate it. And thank you so much for giving me a platform where my nieces and nephews think I'm cool. Yeah. They're like, my auntie's on YouTube. They tell their little friends and they're all like, can I be on your channel? Can I be on your channel? I'm like, no. Stay in school, kids. So we've got a special guest, Fatal J, who will be joining us a little shortly. Like I say, my friends drop in as they will. And of course, you always got that one friend that shows up early to help you set up to the party. And of course, that would be Erica from Hanging with Erica and Rob. How are you, my dear?
Doing good. Changing my setup a little bit.
I see.
And in my gut. Oh, we're getting a new router, so we're upgrading our tech. And I
Yay!
will be able to move all of my stuff that's here in the living room upstairs into my own office. So I'm gonna have my own little nook.
Oh,
I'm so excited.
nice.
I'm so excited to decorate the room because I'm gonna
Mhm.
decorate it to where each wall is a different like backdrop and I can move the desk around. So
Ooh.
I'm gonna have so much fun with this.
Ah, you are so gonna love it. I can't wait to see it because I love seeing how you decorate. I just throw stuff up here.
I guess I'll have to make a video on it, won't I?
Yes, yes, you will. Yes, you will. I will keep bugging you until you until you do.
Oh, and ChatGPT has been my best friend when it comes to like creative ideas. That AI is scaringly intelligent. Very scary. Very scary.
Hang on one second. Somebody is telling me that they're backstage and they can't see me. I'm like, huh?
Hmm?
Really?
It says live.
Unless I was dumb and sent the wrong link.
Well, you know, that happened to me earlier.
Yeah, see, there I go. There I go. And guess who we got on the show? I love him to death. Every time he's on with the Dark Council and I'm on with them, he reminds me of my country cousins. Folks, introduced to some and reintroduced to others. The one, the only, Fatal J. How you doing, my dear?
She got it wrong. My name is Miles Morales, not Fatal J.
Miles Morales. Who's that?
Miles Morales?
Miles, the kid cosplaying as Spider-Man. Is that it? Is that what he is? I'm the worst.
I guess I was in the wrong link. I was in the wrong link.
Same here. Happened to me earlier.
Well, this the thing about me. I'm short bus unique. Okay, so it might have been my fault. Okay, I tend to do things, you know.
Well, yeah, I thought I copy pasted the wrong the wrong link. Oh, everybody's saying hi. Yes, yes,
How y'all
yes,
doing?
indeed. Glad seeing Fatal J. Mark Daly says Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Miles Morales is Miles Morales. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Miles Morales cosplays Spider-Man.
How about they just call him the Black Spider?
That would work.
The Black Spider.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Well, unless you want to get specific and call him the Afro-Latino Spider. But make sure they get the flag right, okay? Make sure you get the Puerto Rican flag and the Dominican flag right when you do that.
Yeah.
But Erica, I don't think you've met Fatal J.
No.
No, I haven't. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm so excited to meet you.
What? Really? I'm a nobody.
Yeah.
Look, Erica, you got to
I
understand.
love the dark.
Really? Erica, you got to understand this. Look, I live in my mom's basement. I'm nothing to be excited to meet. Okay? Like my mom, she's literally like, you need to hurry up and get your life together. Or you just get kicked out. Like, get it together, you know? So
yeah,
it's what it is.
We make fun of Fatal, you know. His parents
living in his mama's basement.
Parents
using up my mama Wi-Fi. You know how it go, Lorena.
Snacks. He turns the camera off, comes back. He's got something, not share with us, but something.
Yeah.
Oh, but for real, I love Fatal J to death, man. I mean, we have a great time on the Dark Council, which is every other Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. on Fatal J's channel. You do not want to miss it. We have our own unique spin on pop culture, social commentary. We got music going on. It's
a party.
Yes, it is. Every stream is a party. That's for sure. That's for sure. Mark says, Fatal, I'm a former basement dweller myself. Don't give up.
Hey man, hey, join the club, brother. You know?
Basement dweller. I'm gonna call my son that.
The basement dweller.
Hi, Mom.
Hey, Mama Lugo is in the chat. Let's see who else is in the chat. 50 of you guys in here so far. We got so much to talk about. We've got, oh Lord, we got Harry Potter news. We've got box office news. We got stuff to opine on. That's for sure. For sure.
Lorena, just real quick, real fast.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the casting? I saw it and I was going to send it to you, but you know what I said? How am I going to send the Queen of Harry Potter this news knowing she's seen it light years before me?
No, you know I saw it.
So what you think?
And what did I say? I said, well, some of y'all can finally relax your sphincters after seeing who the casting is for the big three. I'm fine with it, especially that they nailed the casting for Ron Weasley. I mean, he's a straight up ginger. I love it. The kid they cast for Harry Potter, he looks good. He looks the part.
Well, this is the thing about me. I could give a freak about Harry Potter. You, Lorena, we don't already talked about this. The
Yeah,
war.
I know.
I just can't wrap my mind around this. They fight like this, like fairy godmothers.
Oh, you can't just just go like that. That don't work. You got like ways to go around, because doing like this is the difference between flicking a booger at somebody and making somebody have a dirt nap right then and there. So there's
maybe so. Maybe I need to go back and rewatch. I need to start with the beginning, right? Watch the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Watch the first movie. Skip Fantastic Beasts, because you ain't missing nothing. Trust
me. Let me ask you this. Okay, if I go back into the world of Harry Potter, if I want Cliff Notes, do I need to just watch this TV show, or do I need the real deal and watch the movies first? Which one do I need to do?
You know what? I almost want to say,
I say
read the books.
Oh yeah.
I would say get the audio books, because I have like 5 of them. I've got from the Goblet of Fire on, because the movie, I could tell with Goblet of Fire, you could tell they were missing stuff. I'm like, forget that. I'll go back and I'll read the books. So I got the audio books. They are perfect.
Okay, audio books.
They're right. Get the audio.
I'm not a big reader. Audiobooks is the way to go.
It is performed well. So I would.
I can remember. I seriously remember this 7th, 8th grade. I'm not going to reveal my age because I'm really 1,000 years old. But to you humans, I'm a certain age. But 7th and 8th grade, I can remember the whole school going crazy over the first Harry Potter book. And when I got to the book, I read only a few pages and I got bored and threw it away. I mean, it didn't do nothing for me.
Yeah, it took me 3 months to get through the first book. I watched the movies. They were a lot more entertaining for me. And I haven't really gone back to the books.
Okay.
I just noticed when things you could just tell some things were either missing or some things weren't explained very well, or they were rushing. That's why I was like, okay, you know what? I'll get the audiobook. And I love the audiobooks. They're definitely worth it. So I would say check that out.
So like with the audiobooks, do you hear stuff like wow, psh, like you hear stuff like that?
Oh, they do that.
Yep.
Okay.
All the Foley effects, the voices, all of that.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to try that now.
Yeah.
Because I haven't actually listened to an audiobook that's a story like Harry Potter. I've done other more like first person celebrity like autobiographies, which is different than a fantasy.
They are good, because when I was driving from like Philly to Orlando, I always had some Harry Potter audiobooks. Go through that whole trip. I'm like, dang, this is going by like fast. I tell you.
We did that drive once and we vowed we'd never do it again.
My family was so broke. We're just like, look. I'm like, how come we can't fly? I shouldn't have said that. 16, guess what? You can drive. I said, okay. I get control of the radio and I get to stop whenever I want for snacks and stuff like that. So yeah, driving, I tell you, it's a I-95 is an adventure, that's for sure. Hey, Snortapoopa says, alas, the old bear is fading rapidly and needs to head to Betty's. Have a fun stream. Well, I sure will. Our polar bear from Pinellas County. Good seeing you, my dear.
Bro, you going to bed this early?
Good night.
Yeah.
I've always wished I could go to bed like that, though.
I wish I could too.
Well,
Like I got an uncle. He said as soon as the sun goes down, and I believe it. As soon as the sun goes down, he's in the bed, knocked out. I wish I could do that.
No, it's 1:51 a.m. where I'm at. So
it's what?
It's almost 2:00 in the morning where I'm at.
Where are you at, in Australia or something?
I'm in Germany.
Oh, okay, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I was like, man, that's really late there. She's like, I'm up during.
I'm a night owl. Got insomnia on top of that. So,
Same. I'm like 11 o'clock. Shoot, we just getting started.
I know, right? Like the night is young.
But I don't hear no. You from America though? Because I don't hear no accent or nothing.
Yeah, my husband works for the army as a civilian.
I'm about to say you can't be German. Like I don't hear it.
No, I'm Hispanic. I'm half Cuban, half American.
Man, this is a diverse panel right here.
Yeah, we have some interesting conversations.
Yeah.
And we lived in Japan for 3 years, many years ago.
I always wanted to go to Tokyo. I heard it's like 10 years into the future. I always wanted to go there.
Tokyo.
Yeah, we were in Okinawa. We didn't quite get to mainland, so we were in the tropical island of Japan.
That's where Mr. Miyagi is from.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Let's
and
see.
Mr. Miyagi is a real person. I don't care what anybody
Yes, he is.
Mama Lugo says, Fatal J, know my angst. This is the only way I can see Erica. That's Erica's mom.
Yeah, that's my mom. Yeah.
How you doing, Miss Carol?
Mm-hmm. You call
Glad
her
to meet
Mama.
you.
Call her Mama Lugo.
Mama Lugo?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like to be called Mama Lugo.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. I think I have everybody. Let's see. Dance Life at the Kingdom. Oh, July 20th. It's official. No, Lord. It means all the darn bloggers going to be there. I can't believe it's that late, Dan. That thing should have been able to.
Sooner?
It should have stepped off Memorial Day weekend. Honestly, I don't know why
End
it's
of the school year for,
July
at least for Florida
20th.
now.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Well, we're gonna talk about that Saturday then. For sure. Let's see. Braylon's here. BR Geist is here, of course. I see you guys rolling on in here. And let's see. Comics Dad can't stay. Wanted to pop in, say hello. Did say that Disney needs to stop with the live action remakes. Lilo and Stitch was not good, and Stitch is my favorite. Sad. Well, we're going to talk about that because I have seen the film. And
my wife said it was good.
I have thoughts. Yeah, I
haven't seen it, but I do still want to see it.
I came near to crying a couple of times. That movie is very special to me and my family. Like my sister, like we used to all watch it. But unfortunately, when my mother passed away, basically we became orphans, even though we were much older, because my dad checked out, wasn't there. Just the emotions. We were watching Lilo and Stitch, and my sister turned to me and she said, "You know what? I get it. I know why Lilo acts the way that she does."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah." Now I wasn't just a tyrant. But I was very much like Nani, like, what am I going to do? It's like family's falling apart. I got to do something, so.
I work at a school, so I know exactly what you're talking about. kids don't know how to express what they're going through, so they act out.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah.
They sure do. And man, I love Stitch. He my boy.
I need to go see it. I've never seen those movies. I'm talking about I want to see the cartoon. I've never seen the cartoon.
See the cartoon, definitely. Definitely see the cartoon. And I like them both for different reasons.
Now, my
Different
favorite,
stuff.
the one that I stopped at as a kid, like I haven't seen none of these joints in a long time. The last one I can remember going to the theater to see, and I know you guys gonna talk about me, please forgive me.
Okay.
The last one I went to the theaters to see was Hercules, and I loved that movie.
Oh, Hercules.
Oh, that was
awesome.
a while back. Wow.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I
That's
love
a good
that movie.
one. I do like that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, back
My
when,
favorite part, he's like, anybody want to buy a sundial?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like a
funny.
regular reference in this house.
I love that. We're actually doing a watch party for Hercules. And I'm like, well, Lilo and Stitch on Saturday, and Hercules, I think, in 2 weeks after that.
The
so.
dude that played Hercules is in one of my favorite movies too. Y'all ever seen the dude that does the voice? Have y'all ever seen the movie Love Potion Number 9?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
been years, but yeah, I
Yes.
remember it. Yeah.
Yeah, remember he squirted and then the women come chasing after him?
I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
Wow, I had to dig back in the crates of my brain to remember that one.
And
Yeah, that's an old one.
same here.
That's the only movie I've known him to be in, like as a standout.
Mhm.
Like that and Hercules, and then after that, it was like over for him. I haven't heard
Yeah.
from him since.
I want to catch up on where dude is, but we know
Yeah.
where you guys are. 63 of you folks here between YouTube and X. Please do heart this stream on X. Hit that like button over here on YouTube. We are here with Fatal J, and we are about to kick off with the hot topics. I've got two very, very sad hot topics to go over because both of them are related to pop culture. Peter David passed away.
Yeah.
Peter David,
The
I
creator
know him.
of Maestro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's sad.
He did work on Babylon 5. He did a lot of novelizations.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like Imzadi from Star Trek. I love that one. I bought the hardback version.
Because see,
that.
what was the dude that created Babylon 5? Because I'm a big fan of him and his comics. What's his name?
J. Michael Straczynski.
I call him JMS.
Yes.
And man, I'm actually rewatching Babylon 5 now. I didn't know Peter David was a part of that either. That's crazy.
Yes, he was. Peter David was part of that.
Wow.
So he worked, because I think he worked on a couple of Star Trek episodes, but he was also working on Deep Space Nine. But he did so many novelizations. Like he did the novelization for Iron Man, which was fire.
Is that rumor true though that Star Trek stole Deep Space Nine from Babylon 5? Is that true?
It was never proven. It was alleged. It was
Yeah.
alleged. There was no lawsuit. It was alleged.
It
was
is
never
some similarities though.
It is.
Yeah.
It's about 25% different, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, they never conclusively proved that. But honestly, it wound up being a boom for both shows because people.
I
were
know
talking
both of
about
them was
both shows.
dope. Both of them was dope. You know, so
Mhm.
we won in the end. The fans won, you know.
They totally won. And Peter David was a huge fan favorite. I mean, he would go to conventions. Dude would have a line out to out the door. But here we go.
Wow.
Comic book and fiction writer Peter David died Saturday night at age 68 after battling multiple health issues. David's work spanned various media and influenced readers across different formats. His wife, Catherine O'Shea, announced his death on Facebook, where friends first learned of his passing. So he's best known as the creator of the DC Comics teen superhero team Young Justice, creator of Spider-Man 2099, main antagonist in Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse.
He was behind Young Justice?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I mean, Young Justice is incredible. I implore people to watch all seasons, man. That is like DC peak right there. That writing is incredible. Oh man, he's gonna be missed.
I love his writing. Babylon 5. I didn't know he wrote for Ben 10 Alien Force.
I didn't know that.
I liked Ben 10. That was pretty darn awesome. I like that show.
Talented. I liked it too. He's a talented guy.
He really is. He wrote, let's see, Aquaman, Avengers, successful runs. Let's emphasize that word. He wrote the successful runs.
Yeah.
For Aquaman, the Avengers, Captain Marvel, Fantastic Four, Incredible Hulk, Spider-Man, Supergirl, and X-Men's Wolverine, novelizations of Batman Forever, Transformers, Iron Man. I read that one. That was actually really good. Also wrote novels based on video game franchises like Halo and Fable. This one hurts because, man, Peter David, I can't think of anything I've read or enjoyed in sci-fi that he did not touch.
Yeah. Oh man, that's sad.
It's just a mess. Oh, Mark Daly, thank you so much. I get to use one of my new clips. Check it out.
I know you want the goodies.
Welcome to the goodie room.
I love Tropic Thunder. Take on it. I can't wait for Erica to watch it, man. It's too funny.
I have to now with what's coming down the pipeline.
Yeah. R.I.P. Peter David. Pour one out for the writer of Stuff, brilliant author of Trek novels and comic books. His poem in Imzadi got me my first girlfriend. I want to say Imzadi was the only Star Trek novel I seriously bought in hardback and read it because I wanted to know the story between Troy and Riker and why she called him that. And the book was really good. So thank you, Mark, for that $5 chat.
Thank you, Mark. People who never experienced Star Trek, they missing out on life secrets, man, because man, those shows is incredible. It's like philosophies, motivation, deep thinking. I ain't talking about the new stuff. I'm talking about the old stuff that came out, man. That stuff is incredible. Incredible writing.
Some great stuff, man. I tell you, I didn't really appreciate the original series because I didn't remember it very much. It came on syndication, aired way before I was born, but it had to compete with Next Gen. And I was watching Star Trek Next Generation and then started to watch the original
series.
I
started off as a child. I knew it was my bedtime when Star Trek went off and when MASH came on. And I used to always watch Next Generation real late in the night. And I could hear my grandma, hurry up and get your ass in the bed. It's time to go to bed. And then I hear that MASH music. And then I knew it was time to go to bed.
All right. Well, the other RIP that we have, of course, is this one really hurt me too. Phil Robertson, Duck Dynasty. Yes.
I didn't know this happened.
Did y'all ever watch Duck Dynasty?
Oh yeah. Love that show.
I would watch that show so much. And you never knew what you were going to get. Well, you knew what you were going to get, and then you didn't know what you were going to get at, at the same time between Phil Robertson fooling his grandkids and they're doing work for him. So he would have to do it.
And that Duck Dynasty was huge for a while. Like when you go in the stores and you see all that merch, It was a lot of Duck Dynasty merch back then.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
it looked like he lived a long good one though, 79.
He did. He did. He lived for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And also, I want to say I think he started developing Alzheimer's because they were, of course, they had the TV show for the longest time. And then they started having their own podcast on YouTube. And I used to watch that all the darn time. I mean, they'd be there at the table. They'd have like some Bible studies and stuff that they would go through because Phil would say, you know what, I'm a C student, so I'm gonna explain this gospel on a C student kind of level. But yeah, he was he was upfront about his faith. He was not ashamed. As a matter of fact, that was one of his shows was Unashamed.
I like that. Respect to that. Quick question though, Lorena, Erica too. Which one you prefer, Duck Dynasty or Swamp People? That's a hard one.
I haven't seen Swamp People.
What?
My sister told me about it. I haven't seen it. Seen it
I
yet.
saw like one episode. I'm gonna say Duck Dynasty just because of the faith based. I love Phil, and I loved how at the end of every episode, you always had that. Yeah, they prayed. He had his wisdom. He tied it into Christianity. I don't know. He was just. I mean, he was the patriarch of that family. That's all there is to it. Him and his wife, and matriarch.
And
Both of them.
his testimony was something else.
Yeah.
With like what he used to be.
Was Phil the one that started off the making the money with the ducks, or was it his son?
Actually, was his sons. Like they were, because he had the duck calls, but his sons are what turned it into like a money, like a profit business.
Yeah, because they were the ones that did the duck calls, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, we need to come up with an invention so simple and blow up like that.
I know, right?
Dope. It's absolutely dope. So yeah, Phil Robertson dead at 79. He had Alzheimer's and I think something blood disease as well. But let's see. Duck Dynasty patriarch Phil Robertson is dead, according to his daughter-in-law. Corey Robertson, Phil's son, Willie's wife of more than 30 years, posted the news to Facebook on Sunday, saying Phil was a man of God who always tried to remind people that death only meant returning to God's kingdom.
Yeah.
I tell you, he will be sorely missed. And one of my favorite scenes of him was in front of his grandkids, he skinned a catfish. He skinned a catfish, and the kids were like, "That's so disgusting," but fried catfish tastes so good, though. I said, "Yeah, I get it." So, yeah, definitely. Go back on YouTube and watch those videos. I mean, he's got some real down to earth stuff when he talks about the Bible and he talks about salvation and he talks about his testimony and yeah, he's just his shows used to bless my life. And just for a while they'd stopped doing it, and I wondered why, but I guess this was why. So once again, thanks to media, you still got Uncle Phil still around. So folks, we got to keep our eyes on Uncle Si.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his sweet tea.
Mm-hmm.
That man does not go anywhere without that. Jug
Especially
of sweet tea.
that cup, that blue cup, that blue Tupperware cup that this case in him when he was in Vietnam. Yeah, I tell you. Well, moving on to our first topic, because we were talking about that a bit earlier. This is news that just dropped out of nowhere. Well, not out of nowhere. We knew it was coming, But let's just say folks were so focused on the casting of Snape, Papa Isidore, as Snape. I've seen him in Gangs of London. That great performance as Snape. Mm, I don't know, but not my circus, not my monkey, so I can't really say anything about that. But they finally announced the casting for Ron, Hermione, and oh my gosh, Ron, Hermione, and Harry. So coming to us from Variety, Harry Potter HBO series casts Harry, Ron, and Hermione. And there they are right there. I'm just so darn glad that Ron is a redhead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I looked at. I said, Ron's a redhead. Okay, we're going to be all right.
Yeah, they look like the other
Yeah.
kids to me. From the outside looking in, they look like the other kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, the little girl who is playing Hermione, she doesn't have like Hermione's hair color, but I don't remember that being shown in the book. She looks she looks like Hermione.
Now Hermione,
It's the
I
hair, because that's
know.
wasn't that her main feature was her big, like, frizzy hair, and she's got curly hair. Yeah.
This show is gonna last a long time, huh? Since they starting off as young kids.
8 seasons. Yep.
Dang.
Yep.
So they know this is gonna make bank.
Oh, it's gonna make bank.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's gonna make bank. Potterheads,
yeah,
for the most part. I mean, case in point, you go to Universal Orlando, right? 100 degrees outside in the shade. People still got their house robes on. They don't care. Their house robes, their gear, their wands, all of that. So with this TV show, instead of it being just films, they've got a season of different shows, of different episodes to fully tell the story of the novels. Yep, Mama Lugo, that's what wigs are for. Yep.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on what they did with Astrid for the How to Train Your Dragon live action thing. They had one job, and they didn't make her blonde. Sorry.
That girl, the girl right there, did she end up marrying Harry Potter when she get older?
No, she wound up marrying Ron, and Harry married Ron Weasley's sister, Ginny.
Oh, so they swapped.
Yeah. But they pretty much grew up together because he didn't really go home because his aunt and uncle were pieces of work. So he crashed at the Weasley Burrow.
Yeah, because I can remember like when I had the book when I was a kid, I read like the first chapter and it just seemed like his uncle and aunt were scumbags.
They were.
Yep. They resented, the mother, his aunt, resented her sister because her sister was, was she a witch? She wasn't a wizard, but she was a witch, or she called her a witch.
Yeah.
But basically, she had those abilities, and now I don't know if the books go deeper into that relationship, but in the movies, they really didn't go that deep. But you kind of pick up on that the aunt didn't really like her sister because she was the oddball. I don't know if there was jealousy or if it was just you're weird kind of thing.
It was the you're weird kind of thing. It's been a while since I've read it, but she was not finding out that they had a quote unquote witch in the family, considering they weren't from a wizarding family. She didn't really like that.
That's one thing. That's the only negative thing I have to say about the whole Harry Potter saga is it's never been explained how some of these wizards, they came from pure muggle families. Wasn't Tom Riddle Voldemort? Wasn't he one of those too where he wasn't
Voldemort
He
was
came
a
from
half. He was a half
he
breed.
was a half? Okay,
He
I
was
don't know
half.
why I thought
He was
he
half blood. Hermione. Hermione was
was
Muggle-born.
half-blood.
So was Harry. So was Harry's
Yeah.
mother. His father, I think, was pure blood. Ron was also, his whole family is also pure bloods as well, as long with
I've just,
along with Draco.
always
So
wondered, like, how does a full-blooded, Muggle family produce a wizard, essentially?
From
You
what it
know?
sounds like to me, it skip a generation. Now that's just me.
Or maybe it does. Maybe it's in the genes in the family
Yeah,
somewhere, and it just
sounds like
kind of.
it's genetic. Is it genetic, Lorena? It's genetic.
it could be. They didn't really explain it. It
No,
kind
they
of
didn't.
it just kind of seemed like some genetic mutation that some Muggle-borns would have magical abilities, as opposed to the purebloods who are basically just cousins marrying and all that stuff. To like keep it, to like keep it in, keep it in the family. But I also think that Ron's aunt, I think she pretty much, not Ron, excuse me, Harry's aunt pretty much blamed James Potter for getting her sister killed. I think that's the animosity that I got. But she's bound by a certain vow sealed by magic that she had to take care of Harry and watch over him. So as long
Oh,
as
it didn't
Harry
go
did
into that in
not,
the movies. That must have been in the books.
it was in the book. Read the book. That's the thing. It was
I read the
so.
first book, and I guess I didn't remember it. My retainability is.
Yeah, they did. And here I was sure people were going to throw a fit because they wanted her black. No, Amanda. I can actually answer this for you, and Fade'll probably give you some more context as well. When we talk about they or people, you're mostly talking about a small subset of blue-haired people who want to push their own agenda. Most people don't care. Don't care. And if Hermione showed up black, yeah, we'd have a problem. Most people would have a problem with that. So yeah, basically do not care. No one asked for Hermione to really, to be black. I don't know. I'm thinking when it comes to Snape, I think it's more about the actor that they pick. The same thing as the actor who was picked to play Corlys Valerian in House of the Dragon. Remember that, Fatal?
Yeah. And see, if I was in that world like you and I, Boo, I might have had a problem. But outside looking in, I actually like that character. You know what I mean? but if I was in that world, I probably would be pissed off. So
yeah,
that's kind of interesting that you said that. Do you think, okay, let's say they made the little girl black. Do you think outside of us YouTubers and hardcore people in the books, do you think the casual world would care? The casual audience, the people who just flipping through the channels on streaming service or going to the movies, do you think they would care?
I think that they would. And there's a difference between the professor, because while Snape is there, he starts to gradually become a bigger character as the movies progress. These are your Harry's the main character, and then you have Ron and Hermione. So those three have always remained constant throughout each book. So making Hermione black, now I don't think that would go over well at all. And I honestly think that would seriously tank the ratings, because we don't know how much Snape is going to be in the first season.
She's too big of a character, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
now,
she's a big main character.
Now that's very interesting. The Corlys guy from Game of Thrones. Now, is he a big major character in House of Dragon?
Corlys, yes.
I hear it. That's Voldemort outside. Pissing him off.
I'm gonna see the Death Eaters flying there. Don't mess with me. They know I'm slow.
Yeah, I heard of a bad thunderstorm brewing your way, Lorena.
Yeah.
We just went through one yesterday. I guess it's headed y'all way.
Yeah, I had to cut off my Doom live stream last night because it got to be like really,
Ooh.
really, really bad. So
yeah.
So I'll keep it should be fine. It should move pretty fast. Yeah, because Hermione is important. She's one of the major characters. So
yeah,
race swapping her just to do it. No, I think it would turn a lot of people. I know I would, because when I first heard about this show, I said, if they make Harry Potter black, I am sure as hell not watching it. They cannot touch, the three. They can't do that. So
yeah,
they did that with Snape. Then again, his character isn't as involved. His character gets more stuff to do as you go through the books. Towards the end, he gets to be more important. But yeah, I don't. Yeah,
I just wonder how they're going to My thing is with Snape is how are they going to reconcile towards the end when they get to like, was it the 6th movie or the 7th? When they got into the 7th book, where it started to really reveal the history of Harry's parents when they were kids.
Yeah.
And you're getting into the history where Snape was bullied by Harry's dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are you going to reconcile that in the climate we've been in lately? And people not interpret that as some kind of, you got a white kid beating up on a black kid, essentially. How are...
Okay, Erica, now that raised a good question. Now, I got a theory, and this is the thing about Fatal J. I told you guys. I used to ride the short bus a lot when I was a little boy. Okay? Please don't laugh at me. But I got a theory, okay? Either the government is making these Hollywood studios do this DEI stuff by force, or this is a way to cause controversy so people can talk about this in the show, and a little psyop of causing division amongst people.
I'm going to go with the latter. I think that's what it is.
I think it's the latter because I'm just going to keep it all the way real. Can I keep it real on the Spouse Lounge?
Please do. That's why that's what we do it all the time.
That's why you're here.
Go for it. Speak on it.
At the end of the day, to me, it's not that many. Okay, look at Harry Potter. Look at Star Wars. Look at Marvel. Look at DC. If you could name the number one race that supports all those franchises, which race would it be? Just keep it real. Okay, I'm going to say it because y'all don't want to say it. White people.
What? Say it again?
Well, you know why that is, right?
Why is that?
You know why it is. To quote Young Ripper, it's because they only see validation in white characters. So they will race swap, like say from black to white or Asian to white. Latino is not a race, so don't even start with that. They'll do it that way, but they won't do it the other way because you will not get enough. I will say not woke because I hate that word. Activist payback on that. There's nothing to be gained for that. Like I would have people tell me, well, what would you think if they changed, if they made Black Panther white? I said, do it. Seriously. It's just like either you say that to just say, oh, well, they wouldn't dare. It's just like, I'm like, shoot, if you write it well enough, let's see, is it going to be Bucky? I mean, I'll watch it. The thing is it good enough? Or are you just race swapping it just to make a point? And Fatal, just like you were saying, I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry, God. I heard my grandma yelling at me, the Lord is speaking, turn everything off and cover up.
That's see, your grandma from the South. Because my grandma, you had to turn everything off.
Everything off. Everything, lights, everything. You had to light the kerosene lamps or something like that. But
you gotta respect God during that time. You know?
You don't have to listen to the Lord. I wanted to say, can the Lord speak a little softer? But you know I couldn't say that and live.
Oh no, you'll get killed.
I couldn't say that and live. I couldn't say, well, you know, when a high pressure system is not a country. We're talking about that. But yeah, that's why they only see legitimacy in swapping out white characters. And I'm like, if y'all had any kind of guts, yeah, do Black Panther. Do Black Panther as a white guy. You know, if I am, and this is what it boils down to, if it is my intellectual property, if I choose to swap out a character, like say, I want to make an all Asian version of the Wiz, all right? I want to do that, then guess what? I'm going to do that. So you as the audience have a choice. You can either watch it or don't.
Yeah.
And some people say, well, they'll blame us for not watching. It's like, too bad. The economics is economics. If you don't support it, you have made an economic decision.
Yeah.
And they can't, you know, they have to abide by that. It's like, okay, I guess the people don't want that. I mean, it looks good to me, but it's not making, it's not making any money. So I think that's what's going on here. Also, remember, in Hollywood, because unfortunately I lived in that place, fortunately, unfortunately, they do not care what you people in flyover country think. They do not, unless it affects the money. When you have producers who are like, you know what, you need to cut that DEI crap out and you're not getting any more money to make movies. Okay, all right, we'll go ahead and we'll change it. So the other thing, when you guys were talking about with Snape being bullied, how's that going to be handled? There's two schools on this. So as this is a British series, forget anything that you know about slavery and racism in the US, because after we won the Revolutionary War and the Brits went back, some of them back to England, we didn't have that. They didn't have that. Their society with respect to race is much different than ours, just because of the situation that they had. They basically said, okay, America, you're on your own, and left us with an economy, with an economic system in the South that was dependent on slave labor. Yes, they did have a couple of colonies in the Caribbean dependent on slave labor, but you know what? They didn't want to revolt like they had in Haiti. So guess what? Freed those islands. So there it's different. And it should be looked at exactly the way it should be looked at objectively. Harry Potter's dad was an a-hole. I don't care if he's white, black, purple, or candy stripe. Snape's weird looking, kind of keeps to himself, but he loves himself some Lily Potter. Lily Potter is his bae. There should be absolutely no difference. And I think people should be strong enough to actually see that and see that it's not a race thing. Because if that's the first thing, and perhaps this is because people have just been conditioned. I'm just a rebel. I don't like people telling me what to do. I make up my own mind or whatever. You can't project that stuff. If this was done like, say, 20 years ago, do you think anybody would have cared?
So, Lorena, let me know what you're saying. So you down with the character being black? You don't care?
No, I don't want her to be.
Okay, but what about the black dude, the Snaps, whatever his name is?
I didn't want
Snape?
him to be either. Yeah, Snape. Yeah, I didn't want him to be either. But
Okay.
it's like the same thing that happened with George R. Martin and with House of Dragon.
Yeah.
He decided to make Corlys Valerian black in the show when he obviously was not in the books. So that's his intellectual property. So he said he's fine with it.
Okay,
They let
so
it
hold
roll
on,
with that.
because I know I'm gonna lose this thought. So the lady that wrote Harry Potter, she's behind them making that character black.
She
I
signed
believe
off on it.
so. Yeah, she
They did
signed.
the
Yeah, she's.
Okay, so
characters
that's
right.
different.
Yeah,
That's to me, that's different.
yeah.
If
I
the
get
creator,
it.
if the creator co-signed it, I'm kind of cool with that.
And that's my point. It's like when the
Yeah,
creator is like, okay, yeah, I got no problem with that. Or yeah, why don't we make that particular
I
change?
would just. I just hope it doesn't backfire on her. For me, I tend to be a purist. If I see a character, it's already been developed, is already been described what they look like in the
Mhm.
book, and then you put them on this movie screen, and now you're coming out with a TV show. I expect continuity. I expect something cohesive. And
I can
it
see
was
that.
kind of a shock for me, you know, it, the race doesn't bother me in that in the context of racism. For me, it's like you change the character, and when you've seen sketches of what Snape looked like in the books,
Mhm.
Alan Rickman looked just like Snape
Yes.
in the books. I mean, this guy looks scaringly like him. And I kind of expected him to look the same, for the TV show. So when they swapped it,
I
I was
did
like,
too.
"Whoa, that's very different." That he looks
Now, Eric, I could definitely rock with your feelings. I see both of y'all sides. Erica, I rock
Mm,
with how you feel because this right here is my favorite Marvel character, Black Panther. And I remember
mhm.
Lorena said, people said, what if they made him white? They probably will do something stupid like that in the future. But I'm gonna be pissed off because that's a character that motivates me. That's a character that I
Yeah,
can see myself in. So I can
right.
definitely understand. And then the point I was making before that, uh, Harry Potter, I mean, just this is how you look at it. And I'm being generous with these numbers. It could be even lower.
Mhm.
Probably has a 30% black fan base and a 70% white fan base. So I think when they was in the marketing room or whatever, or writing the scripts or whatever, and they said we're gonna make this character black, they knew it was gonna cause controversy. They knew people were gonna be angry about it. They knew people was gonna be talking about it. So why do they want me angry? Why do they want me pissed off?
Free publicity.
Yeah.
Free
It gets
publicity.
people talking.
Yeah, cause look what
But
we're
the
doing
thing
now.
is,
Get
yeah,
people
exactly.
talking
But
about it.
But they expect the angry talk. They expect the conversation to go in a specific direction. And at least here, we're not giving them that because what we're doing is we're conversating about this from all angles. We're basically arguing all different sides of the situation.
Yeah.
Maybe other places you're going to run into that stereotypical, oh, I can't believe they race swapped him, but we're not falling for that, here. We like to analyze all the different angles. Another angle to this is I I hope J.K. Rowling, um, what I don't want to see happen because I love her and I think she's a wonderful writer.
Mhm.
Um, and I, for the most part, she's very liberal in a lot of ways. And I don't agree with everything, on her, but when it comes to her stories, the world of Harry Potter, like I have her back 100%. I just hope that her decision doesn't backfire because I want to see her continue to succeed in this universe that she's created. So I kind of question, are you sure you're doing the right thing here? If you're that confident, it'll be fine. Okay, It's your baby. But personally, if it were me, I would have gone the route of continuity. I would have ensured that the casting would have been as close to what was sketched in the book.
Erica, they wanted you pissed off and angry. They wanted you pissed off and angry.
Well, it's just to be true to the story, and I don't know what she's thinking. I don't know what's going through her mind. I don't know. None of us were there in those conversations. I don't know what pressure she was under. I mean, which I would imagine not much, because she's pretty much has the final call on a lot of this stuff. Everything has to be run by her, is my understanding. She's got a lot of control in this, which is the genius part of Harry Potter being so well preserved. But I don't know, we'll see what happens. I really hope he can pull it off, because I want the TV series to succeed. I love the Harry Potter world. I love the story, and I really want to see it succeed. I want to see what wasn't able to get into the movies from the books come into the TV show, because I never got a chance to really dive deeper into the books. And I would like to see that visually come to life, on the screen.
I'm a purist. I really am. I think I come from the standpoint of, if I've written, these novels and they've been turned into films and people are familiar with that canon, it really is unfair to change an immutable characteristic like that.
Yeah.
Like how she looks, like how Snape looks. When I first heard about it, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Snape is supposed to be like this wiry dude, doesn't get a whole lot of vitamin D or anything like that. That's how he's supposed to look like that. Mm-hmm. And the casting, you throw this name out there. And so here's what I'm thinking, and this is my Hollywood tinfoil hat being put on. Papa Esidu's agent basically said, hey, you need to consider my client for this role of Snape. Don't you want to be edgy? Don't you want to be on the right side of history? Don't you? That's the conversation that more than likely happened. And that's what pisses me off, because you didn't pick this guy because he was some huge, well-known actor, like say it was Denzel Washington or something like that. Okay, say it was Morgan Freeman. All right. Okay, wild guess, but I'm just saying that when you race swap, usually when that's done, it's because of who the actor is. This is an actor who, outside of the UK, do not know who this guy is.
I don't know.
The only reason I know who he is because Gangs of London was on Netflix. That's it. And I think I saw 1 or 2 episodes of it. And of course, they're doing the casting over there in the UK. It's just like, why do that? So I'm thinking that's probably why they did it.
It's like you said, controversy sells.
Yeah, nowadays it does. It just sucks that it's at the expense of the canon of these stories. Yeah. And that goes beyond Harry Potter. This extends beyond
Erica,
that. And
you're exactly right.
For the fan base.
Exactly. Erica, you're exactly right. I'm a huge Tolkien fan. And what Rings of Power did to Tolkien's work, to me, I look at his books as masterpieces. I look at his book as just a work of art. And just to see what Amazon have done, to see even the animation they came out with recently, that was terrible. Just to see them just take a piece of art and just wipe their eyes with it. It's terrible.
And they're doing the same thing to C.S. Lewis with the new upcoming, well, rumored, I don't know if it's official yet or not, with Chronicles of Narnia.
Yes. You have these people who, and Nap Advice, as JK recently said, she had no choice on casting. Okay. But I do remember that the casting call that went out said, yes, we're looking for, everyone, diverse looks and stuff like that. And I'm just like, no,
I guess
No.
in a way, I could understand her not having control over casting because I mean, I would assume like maybe I guess there's a specific talent you have to have when scouting acting talent, which is
Mhm.
different, than her niche. Her professionalism is writing. She wrote the book, she wrote the story, the characters. But when it comes to acting, I could see, I guess that makes more sense. Kind of
Yeah,
pieces it together better.
because they're not separate actors. They have to act together. That chemistry has to be between all of them.
Yeah, there's a
As
lot involved. It's very multi-layered when
yeah.
picking the right people for roles. I mean, I can totally see
Mhm.
it.
But it's like I am still not happy that they chose to do this. And the person that I feel bad for it is Mr. Esidu because he's gonna catch it a lot. Because some folks on the internet are crazy. We all know that. And wind up blaming the actor for taking that role rather than blame casting, who truly is to blame for that. So
Yeah, I don't never blame the actors. They just doing their job.
mhm.
But I
Yeah.
got a question.
Mm.
J.K. Rowling, is she billionaire status?
Oh yeah, she got more money than the queen.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
she's making money off the, Wizarding World, uh, lands in the Universal parks,
Wow,
plus the
really?
books, all of the
Merchandise,
merchandise that's ever been sold for Harry
All the
Potter
merch?
anywhere.
ticket
She's
sales.
making money off that, ticket sales.
So she like the female
Oh,
version of George Lucas.
yeah. Mhm.
Mhm.
You could
Wow.
even compare her to Walt. You could even compare her to Walt himself.
She on Walt Disney level?
Yes.
Yeah. Her
Wow.
imagination and like you really need to get into the story of Harry Potter because the whole lore.
I'm gonna
If
start
you
watching the
like
movies.
Tolkien, I think you would really like the world of Harry Potter. If you really like the Tolkien, like the lore that's there,
Yeah.
you would really like the fantasy and whimsical
Mhm.
world of Harry Potter. That's what draws me in is the whimsical, mystical world of like all the different magic. You got werewolves, you have witches and
Trolls and
mostly
giants
wizards,
and
but
magical
you have
creatures.
you have other mystical creatures. It's just this beautiful world of storytelling she created, and um, it for some it could be a little bit to get into. Um, for others, they just get sucked right in. It just depends on who you are. For
I'm on
me, I
I'm on
watch the movies. I'm not a big reader, so
I'm on
the
I'm on
movies did
two
it for me.
I'm on 2 month vacation, so I'm gonna try to watch them.
Well, I will tell you, Fatal, that her writing, you know how descriptive Tolkien is with his writing, right? He's very specific. The way he writes his characters, the way his characters talk to each other. You'll
Yeah.
see that in J.K. Rowling's writing. As a matter of fact, her writing gets better with each novel. That's something that I noticed.
Wow.
I mean, it was great when it started, but you can tell she's like refining her craft, as she goes along. So there's a lot of parallels between her writing and Tolkien's writing, and like George R. Martin's writing as well. Although he's not finishing The Winds of Winter, I don't know why y'all thought he was going to do it. No, no,
Loretta, I'd have
told
told
you he
you what he
wasn't.
doing.
I told you he wasn't going to do that. He making
Loretta,
that money. Think about y'all.
Loretta, I'd have told you the dark council check what he doing. I'm not gonna say it on your stream though. He catching up for lost times in his life when he was a nerd. Okay, and I'm gonna
Mhm.
leave it at that.
Playboy having himself a good time. And
Yeah.
speaking of Playboy, I saw this and I lost it. I'm
They need
like,
to do it.
y'all need to do it. Y'all
They
should
need to
have
do
did
it.
this a long time ago. But here we go. Mission Impossible director Christopher McQuarrie says Tom Cruise is very serious about making a Les Grossman movie. And Les Grossman, check it out.
Heads up! Heads up!
And that's all I can play before I can play. He's that guy.
That movie is incredible.
And he's also this guy.
Here's a key grip. Hit that director in the face. Really fucking hard.
Oh, ow.
I love Tropic Thunder.
That movie is funny, man.
That movie is so funny. Oh my gosh. But Tom Cruise's top Tropic Thunder fan favorite, Les Grossman, may be getting his own movie. In a recent appearance on Josh Horowitz's, let's see, Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning director Christopher McQuarrie said he and Cruise have had some very real discussions about making a standalone Les Grossman film. The conversations we've had about Les Grossman are so effing funny, McQuarrie said. Cruise and I are talking about it. We're having very serious conversations about it and how best to do it. Ultimately, it comes down to what the character is. So in Tropic Thunder, Les Grossman is the mouthy, antagonistic producer of the titular film, infamous for his ferocious temper and giant hands. He said, McQuarrie went on to say that he and Cruise used the potential Les Grossman film as an escape from filming Final Reckoning and would often riff on the character together over meals. I would love to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it'd be awesome. If Tom plays Les Grossman, Robert Downey Jr. has to play Venus Flytrap.
Yeah, he'll be in the movie. I'm pretty sure RDJ will be in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just gonna bring them all back. I certainly hope they do this. What are you guys' thoughts?
I hope so too, man. That movie, I wasn't expecting that movie to be that funny. When I first seen it, man, that's a hilarious movie.
I need to watch it.
Yeah, you need to,
Yes.
Eric. I'm telling you. You need to. It's one of the funniest movies you'll ever see, I promise you.
Me,
It looks
Erica,
really funny.
and Cameron, we're gonna watch that movie because Erica has not seen it. And me living in LA, I was laughing harder than anybody else because I'm like, yeah, some of that stuff is true.
Yeah. I wish I would have seen it in theater. I guess I missed that one. I saw it on cable one day. And man, you're gonna be in store for a ride, Erica. It's a good one. It's funny.
It sure is. Booty sweat. I don't think any of us want a can of Alpha's ass sweat. That's so many darn things. Oh my gosh. So yes, hopefully that is going to that's going to happen. That's going to pop off. Also, another thing for folks to be aware of, boom, Christopher McQuarrie says he's cracked the story for Top Gun 3. It's already in the bag. Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning director said that it's about finding the right emotional balance for the Top Gun films. I can't wait for Top Gun 3.
I can't, man. That second one, I thought I was having a panic attack or something because it felt like I was inside that jet, and I was really concerned because I just in the back of my mind I was thinking somebody's gonna die. I just kept saying that somebody's gonna die.
Mm-hmm.
This mission is too impossible. No pun intended. But you know how they kept saying that the way they was going through those little terrains, that was impossible. So I was just so jacked up. My adrenaline was high, like I was on the mission. So I can't wait to go through that again with Top Gun 3. I know it's gonna be good.
Erica, did you see Top Gun Maverick?
No, we didn't get a chance to. I know.
You gotta you have to watch it. Oh my gosh, it's so America.
And I wanted to see it in the movies. I wanted to see it in the theater, and we just never
Yeah, and it stayed in the theaters
got
long
around to
too.
it.
It
Yeah.
stayed a long time in the theaters.
It did.
Did
I
it hit a
know.
billion? It hit a billion worldwide, right?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Without
Mhm.
China, without that's the caveat, without
Yep.
the Chinese box office. And Top Gun Maverick made a crap ton of money. And Tom Cruise made sure that all of the actors who were playing pilots went through flight training
Yeah.
to learn how to fly. And it's purposely shot because there were some Top Gun pilots who saw the movie and they were like, yeah, we didn't have any of those cool call sign names, but all the flying is accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
good.
like how he was the coach, the mentor of the younger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
didn't play on he's old, but he can still do these incredible things. He was just a wise teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love that about that movie.
Yep. Still doing flybys. So
Yeah.
they're gonna do a Top Gun 3. And what Christopher McQuarrie talks about in this article, which I think is really important,
Mhm.
it's not about the stunts, it's not about the sets, and it's about the story, but at the crux of it is the emotion of the story. So like in Top Gun Maverick, when we meet Rooster and you see that emotion on Maverick's face when he sees Rooster, because he keeps seeing what happened with him and Goose, and he doesn't want the same thing to happen to Rooster, and Rooster's got a bone to pick with him because he basically made him go behind with flight training, so he didn't get into the academy the first time he tried. But there's that emotional, I want to say, that emotional gut punch where the guy who was flying the aircraft, where he survived and your pops didn't. How would that go?
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool that he talked about it, because movies are an emotional experience for the most part. At least the good movies are. Whether you get go ahead, Beto.
No, I was just gonna say real quick, real fast. That Val Kilmer scene, it's gonna hit different this time you watch that movie. It's gonna hit different. It's gonna hit different.
It's gonna hit so different.
It's gonna hit
Florentine, Tom Cruise is gonna be doing stunts till he's 95.
I believe he want to die
I believe
doing a
it.
stunt.
Yeah.
I think he want to
he
die,
probably will.
and that's the way he will want to go, like falling off a cliff or something. I honestly believe that. I don't know who gonna do it the longest, him or Keanu Reeves, because Keanu Reeves still do his stunts too.
He does. I think Keanu's younger, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
I think Keanu might be kind of up there with Tom Cruise. Let me Google real quick.
Yeah, because they're real. I think they're real close in.
Yeah, you got to remember Keanu. Okay, Keanu is 60 even. Tom Cruise is okay. I told you they were neck and neck, 60 and 62.
Oh, dang!
Okay.
I know you got to remember Reed's been in the Hollywood game just as long as Tom Cruise.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Dang,
2 years apart.
Cruise the Top Gun 10.
You're right.
I can see that.
Yeah, for real. I'm greedy. I just can't wait to see Top Gun 3.
Did you hear about the Las Vegas experience they're opening up? The Top Gun experience?
What's that all about?
Like a flight simulator.
Wow.
Yep.
I have a heart attack or something like that.
Yeah, we talked about it on they talked about it on the pro show earlier today, and I was like, what?
I've been in a couple of flight simulators, so
Oh, it's on T3PO. We talked about it on T3PO.
I do it. Then again, I'm the crazy one that does the orange mission every time on Mission Space. So
yeah.
The one that spins or doesn't spin? I forget what
The
color is
one that
what. I do
the
the
one
one
that
that
does
spins.
spin. Orange is the one that
Yeah, I do
spins.
that's the one I do. The one that
As a like
spins.
centrifuge, so it gives you that feeling of weightlessness
Mhm.
when your vehicle ejects the boosters after you escape
Mm.
Earth's gravity. Yeah, man, I'd love to freaking do that. Ah, I'm crazy like that. But speaking of crazy, the box office this weekend. Now, I don't know if you guys have been, but I went to see Lilo and Stitch on Thursday, and then I went to see Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning on Sunday. And each of those days, the theater was packed,
That's what
like
my wife said. She said it was packed when she went in Houston. She said it was packed.
full of people
It's gonna hit
going.
$1 billion worldwide. It's gonna hit $1 billion.
Mm-hmm. It is. It totally is. So here we come from the wrap. Lilo and Stitch leads biggest Memorial Day box office ever with 183 million 4-day opening. Overall grosses for the holiday weekend are set to reach a record of 328 million over 4 days. You know what? I am going to pull up the actual weekend
You
box
know what
office
I'm
chart.
gonna tell you what I noticed though. With this year, you got a lot of good movies coming out, and people are showing up to the theaters. So what that tells me is stop putting out all this crap, and people will go to the theaters.
Exactly.
Look at
That's the
Sinners.
overall consensus.
Sinners is a brand new IP. It made its money back.
Mm.
I mean, that goes to show people just want good movies.
Yep.
They just want good movies.
Absolutely, especially
Don't need
one, the economy's not so great, and it's expensive to go to the movies if you don't, sneak in
But
your own
people still want
snacks.
the escape. They still want the distraction from all of that, and they're
Yes.
willing to budget for it and make the financial sacrifice to mentally escape from all of that. But you keep putting that shit into the movies, and then you don't wanna see that particular movie because that's what I'm trying to get away from, the
Eric,
politics, the virtual signaling.
Erica, you would,
I don't your morals being shoved down my throat, and I don't need any of that in a movie, in a story.
Erica, you
I
exactly
just
right. I can remember when I was a kid and reading about the depression. They said during the Great
Mhm.
Depression, the movie theaters was making so much money because of what Erica said. People want to escape that reality
yeah.
just for a few hours, a couple of hours,
Mhm.
And if you're making great movies, people show up. They'll make the budget, just like Erica said. So quit
Yeah,
putting out this crap.
yeah, that's exactly it. It's like people want value for their dollar. Like I remember when I went to see the Super Mario movie when that came out. I went to a 3D showing because I wanted to be immersed in it. That theater was packed with
Yeah.
families for a premium showing. You couldn't. I love that shirt, Kato.
I
I
love
love
your
that
shirt.
shirt. I love that darn shirt. I mean, it was packed full of people. People want good entertainment. It's like the
That's it.
movie Twisters that was out. Movie with theater was packed for Twisters. Definitely packed for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
For real. But you're absolutely right. People want good movies. They don't want movies telling them what to think, telling them what to feel, telling them that they're bad people if they don't like the message that's in it. And Hollywood had gotten away from trusting their audience to make up their own mind about art. Artists who are secure in themselves, they will let people judge their art for themselves, not tell them what it is that they need to see. And folks started rejecting that. Not only rejecting it just by not dealing with it, but also
Mhm.
not paying. They shut their wallets and kept their money, or they're like, I can just stream it. Why should I go to the theater and go with all these people who I don't know with all these germs and go to, a movie? Well, when you have movies like, say, Five Nights at Freddy's, the theater sold out like 2 weeks before the movie freaking came out. I bought a ticket, I think, like 2 weeks before the movie came out. Barely got in there.
That's the horror movie, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
I don't do horror.
Sequel's coming.
Mm-mm.
Sequel's coming. It's coming
Oh, they're
this
making a sequel?
holiday
Oh,
season. Yes,
nice.
there's a whole bunch of
No,
books
thanks.
for
Nope,
Five
no
Nights
thank you.
at Five
I'm
Nights
good.
at Freddy's. But just looking at this, it's like Lilo and I knew that was going to make a bleep ton of money because, one, Stitch merchandise has been selling for decades. Whether it's in the
Mhm.
park, whether it's in I went to the Five Below. Actually, yeah, went to the Five Below today. All right. They had like a Stitch section from the new movie. Pick clean. None of that stuff is there. Stitch has been selling for the longest time. It
Wow.
is as popular as the Fab Five of the Disney characters. Minnie,
I was
Mickey.
just gonna say, I think he's more popular than Mickey Mouse.
Yes.
I think in this era and with the yeah.
He totally is. It's like the licensing, all of that merchandise is out there. So I'm not surprised that this movie made a ton of money because, granted, pop culture critics aside, when it boils down to it, you've got families making decisions. Is this movie worth my time? Is this movie going to be enough to keep my little demon spawn occupied for 90 minutes so I can get a break?
Right.
That's it. And if it's like, okay, it's worth it, you can go do that, then that's fine. And that's what people did. They went out to go see that movie. They enjoyed it. Probably going to be seeing it repeat times from what I've been seeing from other people, but made a ton of money. Mission Impossible, the last one. Now, granted, it did not. I think it made the most of the franchise.
Really?
I think. I remember correctly. I could be wrong. I thought I saw something.
You know, the only Mission Impossibles I ever seen was Mission Impossible 1 and 2.
Oh, one pissed me off, and I stopped watching the movies for
You don't
a
like
couple of
one?
years. I was mad because of what they did to Mr. Phelps. And then I think last year I went and binged, all of them. I said, okay, I can go back and watch them now, but that ticked me off.
I want to see the one with Henry Cavill in it.
Oh, that was good. Henry Cavill was so good. I'm not even going to lie.
I need to see that one.
Yeah, Average Carmageddon, $20 for a ticket. Well, depending on where you go, $20 to $60 for food. Then again, your girl has been sneaking food in the movie theater.
Oh, I've been doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you think I'm lying, all right. If you ever go to the Walmart and up in the front is all of the movie theater size candy.
The $1 bin or like $1.50. Yeah. Or go to the Dollar Tree and load up.
I think they do that on
Yeah.
purpose. Because if you look at the boxes, it's those squares, just like the movie theaters,
Yep.
They do that on purpose.
They do. Yeah. I have brought in a double from In-N-Out into a movie.
Man.
I have.
Yeah.
I have. Because it was so darn expensive. But now my movie theater has these pretzel bites that are banging. They make them fresh for you. So I'm like, okay, that's actually worth it. But it's like, I'm not
Now,
paying
if you're going to
$5.
level up food, if they level up food like that,
Yeah.
Now,
So
it's been years since I've seen a movie in the States. Over here, it's not as expensive as in the US. And It's a very simple menu. You've got the basic candy, very similar to what you have in the. You got your gummies, you've got your M&Ms. You have your option of kettle corn, which they call sweet popcorn, or the salty buttery one. And you've got your drinks.
Double
And
Ziploc
it's very
bag, y'all.
simple.
I'm horrible, but I mean, but
And
it is expensive. They want like
yeah,
$5 for a bag of gummy bears that cost me a $1.25 at the Five Below. You know,
it's like what, $20 for popcorn and 2 drinks?
$40 for a popcorn bucket because I was gonna get the Stitch popcorn
40?
bucket, and as soon as he said $40, I said, no, I don't think so. It's not. It
And
ain't.
I'm like the combos, like the AMC combos. I'm like, haven't priced them in years, but the last time I did, it was like $50 for just
Yeah.
what little bit we wanted. Well, all we wanted was a large popcorn and like 2 drinks and like 2 candies, 2, 3 candies. And it came out to like over $50.
Yeah, when I go to the theaters, I'm expecting to spend $100 easily.
Yeah.
I just expect it.
It's very easy to do that. So I just use my loyalty points to get popcorn and free soda.
I even popped popcorn once and stuffed it in my bag. Brought my own popcorn because I couldn't afford even the popcorn. So.
Double bag it with the Ziploc bag. I'm telling you, they are your best friends to do. Put it in there. But yeah, even Final Destination Bloodlines, which is done crazily good. I haven't seen it yet. That's been making money. Thunderbolts is it's up there. And of course, Sinners is still up there making money. Minecraft movie still making money. Still making money.
Wow.
Still making money.
People will go and see these movies if they believe that the value is there. Also with Lilo and Stitch, remember that marketing campaign was so good. They were kicking it off right when I think right before Snow White live action hit the theaters. All you saw was like this marketing campaign where Stitch was crashing all kinds of movies. Then they had the video where Stitch wanted to work with Tony Stark.
Really?
Yeah. He said he wanted to be Avenger.
You're right about that because I'm not gonna see this movie. I'll probably see the cartoon, but I seen an advertisement where Stitch was in a remote control car in the movie theater.
Yep.
Now even I saw that. So that marketing is crazy for this movie.
Their marketing was insane.
Yeah.
And freaking genius, actually. Yes, especially when you have a diaper bag. I'm telling you, I stuck so much stuff in the theater. But let's read this here real quick. So Disney's Lilo and Stitch is proving that Snow White was an aberration. That was an abomination, as it has earned an estimated 145.5 million 3-day domestic opening and will pass Top Gun Maverick for the biggest Memorial Day weekend launch ever, with an estimated 183 million 4-day start and a staggering 353 million worldwide.
And you got to think, this is leading right into summer. Kids are out.
Yeah.
Kids are out of school.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be huge.
Huge. We got this one. Karate Kid Legends comes out this week.
I kind of want to see that.
I'm going Thursday. I'm going. I mean, I didn't think I wanted to go, and I saw the trailer. I'm like, okay, I might go. And then when I went to go see the Lilo and Stitch movie, I saw the trailer on screen, and I'm like, this is so dope. So I can't wait to see that.
I think I'm gonna see it, but I'm not gonna see. I'm gonna see it on like $5 night.
Yeah, just go. Going matinee night. But you've got Karate Kid Legends coming out. You've got How to Train Your Dragon coming out, live action. That's gonna make money.
That's gonna make money.
It's just gonna make a ton of money.
Yeah.
It just every time I see the trailer, I'm just like, dang, that's gonna make money
Yeah.
hand over fist that way. But it just proves people are willing to spend money on films they're not gonna get preached to. Lilo and Stitch live action, whatever nits you have compared to the animated movie, the point is the movie is family friendly. I mean, somebody said hell. I I really debate why they should have even put that in there, but they did. But overall, it's a good family movie. The kids are going to be entertained because oh my gosh, between Stitch farting in the punch bowl, uh,
That's awesome.
using a compact disc to take out the tires in a car that was following behind him dragging his butt across the floor like a dog with worms. He so funny. He's so funny. He's so bad. He's so
Yeah.
bad. Mm,
That
he's
sounds
so
like good
bad.
family fun, man.
It is fun. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's kids are gonna like it. The parents are gonna love it. I love the music. I mean, it's not on the same level as the original with the music, but it's still good.
Yeah.
Especially Hawaiian Coaster Ride, y'all. That's the banger.
A fun
That's
song. Yeah.
that's in there, and the opening song that they have for the movie. So that's people are going to spend money, family movie, to go and see that. And of course, with Mission Impossible, that's your R-rated movie, but that's a different audience for that. Again, that movie, oh my gosh, this is a spoiler. Tom, please don't. Well, if you do claim me, it's worth it. It's worth this. This scene in the movie, and I'm gonna let it play. This scene, I aged because it was so suspenseful. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's gonna what's gonna happen? And you're
What is he?
underwater.
I'm about to say he underwater.
He is underwater. He is in a special suit, special dive suit because they're in the Arctic. It's
Yeah.
got a heads up display. I think it's like a decompression unit also on the back along with the tanks and everything. And he's got to go into the Russian sub so he can get the original code. Remember the sub that sank? They thought they were introducing a virus, and that's where the entity came from. This scene was nuts. I mean,
Wow.
it was so quiet you could hear ant fart in that theater
Oh,
because
wow.
I was in an
I can hear
RPX.
it.
I was. I don't know who I stole that from. I was in an RPX theater, so it's not IMAX, but it's like an upgraded experience with the sound and everything. So it's like the pressure, the water, just you could feel it. Like when the sub hit, it's like the floor was shaking, and
Wow.
this was crazy. I didn't even realize I'd held my breath because it just gets worse from this point on with what Ethan's doing because he's got to go. He has to manually go down to that Russian sub.
But I love when movies do that to you because you forget that you in the theater. You know what I mean? I love that. Because most of the time I'm looking at my watch to see when this movie go in, you know?
This one, I was just like, I had my phone in my pocket, but I'm like, I don't want to look at what time it is because it's going too fast. Time is going way too fast because you're just immersed, in this movie. Yeah, it had a couple of flaws that I didn't like. Some of the callbacks were okay, obvious, but action junkies, no. This film from start to finish is absolutely bat blank crazy insane with the stuff that he does. I mean,
Yeah. Is this your favorite one? This your favorite?
Probably my second favorite one.
Okay.
My favorite one is the one that the one Henry Cavill was in.
See, I hear a lot of people say that. I hear a lot of people say the one with Henry Cavill is the best one.
He was so good as the bad guy. Because here's the other thing, and another reason why I like that one, I think was Fallout as compared to this one here, and that's mainly because Gabriel is not a believable villain. I mean, I love Esai Morales to death, but his performance next to Henry Cavill's performance, there's no comparison. You believe Henry Cavill is as villainous as his ass is. With Gabriel, it's kind of like you kind of want to be a villain, but you're just a try hard at being a villain, which is a shame. But it just the quote unquote entity was more of a villain than he was. Maybe that was the point. I don't know. But for any movie, your villain needs to be invincible or appear to be invincible. And I didn't really get that. I didn't really get that in this film, but God damn, Cavill. I love that. I am not ashamed. I'm so not ashamed. But again, just like with the other Mission Impossible movies, when the movie starts, Tom Cruise thanks the audience for coming to see it and talks about how much fun. Yes. He came on screen and he talked about how much fun it was making the movie for the audience to watch it. So
is
again,
this the last one?
Cool. This is the last one.
This
is the last Mission Impossible movie. And Tom Cruise posted this on X. He said, "This weekend was one for the history books. Congratulations and thank you to every filmmaker, every artist, every crew member, and every single person who works at the studios. To every theater and every employee who helps bring those stories to audiences, thank you. To everyone who works at Paramount Pictures and Skydance." Tom Cruise owns part of Skydance. "Thank you for your many years of partnership and unwavering support." Yes, Skydance has been doing a lot of stuff. Like they did Reacher, they did the Terminal List.
Star Trek.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of stuff. Skydance, that studio is on fire. It's on fire. And yes, partly owned by Tom Cruise. And most of all, thank you to audiences everywhere for whom we all serve and for whom we all love to entertain. Sincerely, Tom. So
Tom is a legend.
He is an absolute legend. And I love how he goes around and because he wants to do a movie with Michael B. Jordan.
Wow. I thought I saw something with him in Sinners. I wasn't sure.
He saw Sinners, and Tom Cruise posted to X about how blown away he was by the movie. And he said, "Yeah, we got to do a movie together." And there was another award ceremony where Michael B. Jordan went talked to Tom Cruise because he was blown away that Tom Cruise did that,
and that's going to take Michael B. Jordan to the next level when that happens. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'm so looking forward to that. I saw that. I'm like, Tom Cruise gave dude props for being in Sinners, but not just him, but also for Ryan Coogler as well, since he wrote the script. But last thing I want to talk about, and first of all, 93 of you guys in here watching between YouTube and X, so we sure do appreciate you guys supporting the show the way that you do.
Thank you.
We got Eric on the panel. We got Fatal J repping the Dark Council on the show. We're just having a good time, keeping it real and keeping it fun. And speaking of keeping it real, I'm going to talk about this ending of Lilo and Stitch, because there's been some rumblings about how the film ended.
Now that's funny you said that, because I'm in the chat with some big YouTubers, and they was fighting hard amongst each other over this ending. So I'm kind of interested on what it was about, because I didn't know what they were talking about.
Well, in the original, in the original, if I remember correctly, it's been a while. I think Nani had wanted to adopt Lilo. So in the end of the movie, you know, they're basically all one big happy family, and Nani stays there, and you know, happily ever after. What some people have issue with this film is, again, how it ends. And I think a lot of it boils down to the fact that some people are not very familiar with the concept of extended family. It's in the South a lot, where there can be people that you grow up with, um, people that you would call like Nana and Pop, where they were not blood related to you. They watched over you as if they were your real parents or your real grandparents.
Yep.
You know, so you grew up with this extended sense of community. It was not just your nuclear family. It was like a network of other families that also gave moral support, financial support, emotional support, all of that. It's a safety net. So I think when some people are watching this movie and at the end, Nani gets to go to UCSD, which she got a free ride for, but she put it off because she didn't know she's like, I can't do that when I need to take care of Lilo. And of course, she's trying her best, but she's a sister. She's not a mom. And plus, she's very young. She's 17. And eventually it goes down to you need to do what's best for Lilo. So I think her name was Tutu. I'm forgetting her name, but oh my gosh, the actress, she was so freaking funny. Oh my God, I've seen her other stuff. I can't remember her name, but
the girl with the ukulele.
No, I need to find this.
Okay,
but,
who was the girl with the ukulele? That's the sister.
Yes, that's the sister.
Oh,
and then there's Lilo there. Oh my gosh, the actress, she is so stinking cute. She's so stinking cute. She reminds me of my cousins. But yeah, their parents die, and you know, Nani's trying to keep her family together, but she's a kid, you know, just herself. And Lilo, of course, is a darn handful, as we all know. And of course, the social workers are trying to make sure that she's in a stable environment. Nani isn't exactly, again, she's a kid.
Yeah.
She's a kid. And it's tough when you're a kid trying to do adult things. Then this was something that was just pushed on her. She didn't expect, for her parents to die. So to make a long story short, hold on a second. This was her. She cracked me the heck up.
Oh, that woman been in Hollywood for a long time.
Yes,
I recognize her.
Hill.
Yeah, I didn't know her name, but I've seen her throughout the years in movies.
Mm-hmm. Amy, thank you, Braylon. Yes, she voiced Mrs. Hagasawa in the original film. I knew her voice. And she is like the auntie who lives next door, who's been around them since they were babies, basically helped to raise them. So in the end, what happened was Tutu basically tried to tell Nani that she wants to do the best for Lilo, but she really does need to go after what she wants, like in life. I mean, think about this. Your parents sacrifice everything to send you to good schools. You get good grades, all of that. You get a free ride to this university. And it's like, what do you do? Because your sister needs you. Well, long story short, Tutu and Nani had a meeting of the minds. So rather than give Lilo up to the state, basically they let Tutu have custody of Lilo.
Okay, who is Tutu?
This is her.
The neighbor.
The neighbor.
The neighbor.
Yeah, the neighbor.
So in the movie, in the live action, that lady, she took custody, and then in the cartoon, the sister took custody,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and people
Yeah.
were pissed, huh? They were pissed.
People were saying, and this
Yeah.
is from what I've seen,
Mhm.
that Nani abandoned her, that she was just girl bossing. And I'm just like, apparently, either you didn't watch the movie or you watched it, but you did not have the cultural context. Nani did not abandon Lilo. Apparently, she used this technology that Jumba had, and I have to say, Jumba was horrible in the Star movie. I don't know who thought Zach Galifianakis should play him, but no, it didn't go over well. But she had this technology where it was like a, what's it? We'll call it like a, I don't know, well, like a portal device. So she could actually, even though she was in San Diego, she could go through the portal device to see Lilo. And it's a mid-credit scene, which is probably why some folks didn't see this. Lilo is talking to Nani on the iPad, and she's just like, Nani, I wish you were here. And she's like, yeah, that would be nice if I was there. And you see like a close-up of Lilo's foot, and then you see Nani's hand, and she's touching her foot. She turns around and she's like, Nani. So Nani basically came through the portal, but it was past Lilo's bedtime. So Jumba's like, you got to go to bed. You better be sleeping when I go in
Yeah,
there. So
my son said it was funny.
Mhm.
He said one scene, it was a portal on top and a portal at bottom, and somebody
Mhm.
kept falling.
Yes. And that's what it was. So it's not like she abandoned Lilo. You know, she did not. And
Well, you got to
apparently,
understand too. So you said she in college, right?
yeah. Yeah, she's
I
in
mean,
college.
she got to live her life. She a kid.
And on top of that, Hawaii, which has one of the highest flipping cost of living, the fact that she can go to college and then be able to actually support Lilo, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It was
Another thing
completely
too,
no,
I think
it
too,
was Jumba.
I think what people don't understand is when you're switching from animation to live action, not everything is going to translate well. So
I
you
agree.
have to tweak the
Oh,
story
that's
in
right.
some
Yeah,
way
completely.
so it makes sense if you're flipping it to live action. So in the cartoon, it was kind of cute and funny, by the end, Nani has custody of Lilo, and you've got the galaxy up in space saying, though, we're going to come in and check in from time to time, on top of the state saying, yes, we'll come in and check in from time to time. But that doesn't really, that wouldn't have translated well to our world, to real life. So it's like translating languages. You can't translate word for word. When you're translating from like even Spanish to English or English to Spanish.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's not how translating works. So it's it's similar concept in movies. So I think for the live action that, I hate, and another thing too is that, believe it or not, there are people out there living these circumstances.
Yeah, they
This
are.
stuff does
Mm-hmm.
happen.
Yeah.
There are
Mm-hmm.
kids out there, siblings that have lost both their parents, and they've had to figure it out the hard way. And it's
Erica,
not
you exactly right.
easy,
Erica, you exactly right.
and
I, not to cut you off, but
my
you
heart. Mhm.
go ahead. Go ahead. I didn't want to cut you off. Sorry.
Well, and my heart goes out to the story. I can relate to that sacrifice because I made the same sacrifice at a young age. I chose to allow my ex, the father of my older son, have custody. Why? Because I could not provide for him adequate food, shelter, and clothing, medical, and transportation. I had to
Wow.
make a decision that was not about me.
Wow.
I had to separate my emotions and ensure that the best interest of my child came first. And that's exactly what I did. And it wasn't easy. It was hell.
Wow.
But we got through it. And, I wish people would, it's not always girl boss. Like you, to your point,
Yes.
Lorena.
Oh
I mean,
my
look at the
gosh, I'm
family.
so freaking sick of that
It's like,
pejorative.
I know it's you have to look at the family circumstances. You know, if you're a parent out there, or if you were, and let's say you passed away, and you have an older daughter and a younger daughter, what would you want to see happen
You gonna want the
in
best
your
for your child.
absence?
You gonna want the best for your
You
child.
want the
Yeah.
best for your kids. You would
Yeah.
hope that they would be able to figure it out. You know, not everyone has a will or probate in place when they pass away. That's just another reality of it, which is another reason probably why the state got involved. She was 17, not 18. That's another
Yes.
factor. You know, this is also very story specific. You know, in the live action, I guess they clearly state what her age is. In the cartoon, they don't really allude to how old she is. You
No.
just kind of assume
Mhm.
she's over 18, and she's just kind of not knowing how to raise a kid because you know, she's still young.
She's a kid
You know,
herself.
she's
But
And I
Erica,
don't know. Oh, go ahead, Vito. Go ahead, Vito.
No, I'm just saying Erica nailed it in the head, because while y'all was talking about this, I know some close friends. It's almost family, and it was a situation where it was two sisters. The mom passed away, and the sister tried to take care of her special needs sister. She had a special needs sister. It just got to a point she couldn't do it. She couldn't do it, so she did the best thing for her sister and gave her to another close family friend. And the child is living a great life, the best life ever. So the people who criticizing all this stuff, they never been in these situations. You know what I mean? They don't know. They just in this bubble, and they just want to feel like they can point the finger and all this type of stuff. No,
Yeah.
The live action makes it more relatable to real life, and that's the point of these that's supposed to be the point of these live actions. When you're translating animation into live action, is you're translating it from that fantasy world where you can get away with anything because it's animated. But when you're translating it to real life, so it's relatable to our world and our reality, yeah, you're going to have to change the story a little bit, you know, which is why I give some grace to these live actions, because I don't expect them to be identical to, you know, to the originals. Some tweaks, but there is, you know, there's a balance too. I will admit that, you know, there is a delicate balance there.
Yeah, and there's some things that you can. Oh, sorry, Erica. I didn't mean to cut you up.
Oh no, sorry. Your cat is so freaking cute, and I totally went into like.
Yeah, that's my friend, my partner.
Oh, I'm like, look at him like, let's get up there.
Gosh.
That's so cute.
Say
That's
hello,
so
man.
Cute.
Mine just jumps up on the.
Yeah, they
thing.
like attention.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna watch the fan as it goes around. But yeah,
and another thing, one other thing that came to my mind. Oh gosh, it was someone.
That happens to me all the time. That happens to me all the time.
Okay, that's another thing. When we're watching movies and even reading books, you take the story for what it is. You know, I would advise when you're going into something like this, don't compare it so harshly to the animated feature. For one, because of the translation, and two, just take the story for what it is. And in this case, take it for what it is. Hardships call for sacrifice.
That's
absolutely.
True. That's real.
It is real. And I think so many people don't realize just how many, just how some of these families happen to be this way and be in this particular situation, and that there are extended families out there that take care of the community. There's another thing that I'll bring up too, because I know there were some people who were saying, well, how come she didn't go to college, in Hawaii. UCSD has one of the premier marine biology departments. Now, I don't know for some of you, but where you went to college matters. Yes, she could have gone to University of Hawaii. Yeah, she could have done that, but that's not where she got the free ride at. She got the free ride at UCSD, which is her dream, where she wanted to go. That's the thing. And with the portal device, guess what? She could come back to visit Lilo pretty much any time that she wanted to. That solved that whole entire issue. So this whole thing about abandoning Lilo, I don't know where the heck y'all are getting that from at all. And girl boss, I don't know where the heck y'all are getting that either. Because there's some people who are just like, oh, she just did the feminist methodology of, or just going after her dreams and just forgetting about Lilo. She didn't abandon Lilo. And just because you go after the very thing that your parents have been preparing you for all your life, we don't know the sacrifices that Lilo and Nani's family made so that she could even get into UCSD, even get that full ride. Just because you make a choice that is right for you does not make you a girl boss. And frankly, I'm getting tired of that term being thrown around as a pejorative. It's almost up. Actually, it is. It's up there with woke for me, and it's up there with racist for me.
Yeah.
And usually, when people start crying about girl boss, it's just like it seems anything that a woman touches, there's just this knee jerk reaction.
That's it.
My
And
understanding is in the story, doesn't it? I heard something where Nani can visit Lilo anytime. If they have this open door, it's not like she walked away and never, and there's no relationship there. I mean, my understanding from earlier, I think from the pro show today, was that there's an open door policy. She can literally see her sister anytime she wants. She can even spend the night with with her whenever she wants to. So nowhere in there is there abandonment or alienation. And I'm using family law legal terms here.
I honestly think how would I put this?
That's because they make this.
Yes, that's it. It's the outrage clicks. It's the outrage,
And a lot of times,
money.
Lorena, most of the time they haven't even seen the movie, or they don't even really feel that way, but they know their audience is going to give them this,
Exactly.
On a personal note, though, I was accused of abandoning my son.
Wow.
I've been through that. I've been through those accusations. I've been through that hell. And so I'm coming from a place of empathy here. Though there was not a death in the family, our situation was obviously very different, but it still had the common denominator of sacrifice.
Yeah.
And, it's better than being homeless, living under a box, under a bridge. Oh, but we're together. Oh, and for what? To starve?
Yeah.
Where the hell is that going to get you in life?
Yeah.
And let me put it into perspective here. Fast forward all the shit we went through for years. And you know where we're at now? My older son is in the Army National Guard. He's got his own family. And he got himself a full-time job with the Army.
Wow.
And he is taking care of business. And you know why? Because what little bit we had with him, though it was fragmented, it planted huge seeds because his stepfather joined the Air Force.
Right.
And the reason for that, because we were homeless.
Wow.
Sticking around in Tampa wasn't an option for us.
Mm-hmm.
We had to do what we had to do to eat and to ensure every single person in our family unit had food, shelter, and clothing, period. Everything else is out the fucking window when you're making decisions like that. And no one has any place to judge unless you've been through something like that.
Right on.
Exactly.
So I'm coming from so the movie in a way is very personal to me, you know. And like I
Agreed.
said, take the story for what it is.
What was
And
that quote somebody said on here about sacrifice? Somebody said something about sacrifice.
Oh, I
Oh,
missed
I
the
was
comment.
accused. I was accused of taking the easy way out, not knowing what sacrifice is. Oh, let me tell you, we have been through it over here, but we're on the other side of it, and all that sacrifice and all that shit we went through, in a sense, has paid off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the military influence and taking care of business
Mm-hmm.
came from this side of the family.
Yeah.
And again, this is what people need to, when it comes down to it, and this is a live action film, nothing is going to be shot for shot exactly like animation because there's certain things you can't do in live action that you can do in animation. Could the story have been tighter? Absolutely. I had a couple nits with it. But at the end, you had a movie that talked about the beauty of just a family, the one that you're born with and the one, that you make. But you also have some people who, they just want Disney to burn. All right. Some people want to do that. I'm not one of those people. I want it cleaned out and to do right. So I call balls and strikes as they are. Snow White, freaking horrible, should not be viewed by anybody. You can take your communism and shove it. This movie actually done very well. So I'll give Disney credit where credit is due and no credit where no credit is due, because that's what makes me intellectually honest. I mean, you want to trash Disney, go right ahead. Go do it all you want. But for me, I'm calling what I like and what I don't like. And if you do not highlight the things that a company does right, they have no incentive really to keep doing things right. So I'll leave it at that. Y'all know me.
That was
All
good.
I know is I almost cried at several points in this
That made me
movie.
want to see this now. I guess I'm gonna have to watch the cartoon and then watch the live action.
Yeah.
Watch the
Y'all
cartoon
know-
and watch the live action. They're both good on their own merits.
I don't like
But
what Disney is doing now, but I can honestly say when it comes to those animations, they kill it because it really grab you by the heartstrings. Like I could never forget, my mom took me when I was in the 3rd grade to go see Lion King. And when Mufasa was trying to save Simba during that stampede, that'll never leave me. That was a very dramatic, emotional scene as for a child. Man, me and my mom was both crying in the movie theaters.
Trying to wake up his dad.
And when he tried to wake him up, that was that it's hard not to cry.
I was done. I was totally done. I'm like, this isn't fair. But and that's the reason why this movie is making so much money. It's a family movie, little kids can see themselves in the movie, like the little girl who, just like Lilo, she's been through this traumatic experience.
Yeah.
Nani didn't make her hula recital, and some of the girls kept pissing her off till she pushed one of them off the stage.
Man.
Pushed her off the stage. It was great. It was great. It was funny. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Got my nits with it. But when it comes to just your normie, hey, we want a movie to keep everybody busy, and am I going to enjoy it? Yes, this is it. But another thing I also tell people too, talk with your kids after you see this film. Ask them what they thought about the film, because too many people are just like, the kids won't know what's going on and they'll get this message and they'll get that message. No, be a parent. Talk to your kid about the movie, what they liked, what they didn't like, what they thought they got from it, what they didn't think that they got from it. Do that. You'd be surprised.
I want to make one more point about family togetherness. Family togetherness. Okay, so when you're fighting for your family, it's not always in the context of being physically together and having physical custody of your child or your sibling. Sometimes it's in the context that you have custody of their heart.
Wow.
I had a lawyer, a family law lawyer, that brought that to light to me because the situation, it wasn't the most ideal. And I'm not going to get into all the thick of what we went through, but in short, my son tended to gravitate to me emotionally. And my lawyer brought it to my attention. He was like, "Look, Erica, it sounds like to me, despite the situation, he loves you. You guys have a great relationship. And though you may not have physical custody of him, you have his heart. And that's very obvious. So, you really have to be careful throwing phrases around like that. There is more to family than just being in the same zip code or being in the same house.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Good stuff.
yeah, I'm like this too. Films are supposed to transcend what someone looks like. I mean, if it's way a certain person looks, that's like icing on the cake, so to speak. Everyone should be able to relate to the crux of the story. And at the crux of the story is you've got a family that broke and had to be put together again. That's pretty much what it is. Little and broken, but still good. And that CGI Stitch is so freaking stinking cute. I'm sorry, they nailed that. They nailed that. And Starlina, you know what? That's okay. That is perfectly okay. When people call you mindless, you know what? Tell them to go take a walk around the oval.
But with that last statement, I can kind of see that because I'm an anime guy. And of course, anime comes from manga.
Yeah.
And then sometimes after the anime, if it's real huge, they'll make a live action. It's very rare that the live action compares to the anime. So I can understand how people would gravitate to the animation more than the live action. I get it.
Wow. Dragon Ball Evolution. That's all I'm going to say.
We would never mention that ever
Woo! That is the film that should not be named, although live action Cowboy Bebop is not far behind.
Yeah.
Talk about abomination day on it.
I can't believe they made it. Not to mention Death Note too,
I didn't see that. I was warned not to see it.
Don't ever see that. Ever.
I didn't see it. I did not see it at all. Well, folks, thank you so much for an awesome, awesome show. We just love keeping it real with you guys here. I want to thank my special guest, Fatal J, for joining us. Especially want to thank Erica from Wing Woman hanging with me here tonight. Fatal, where can people find you and what do you have going on, my dear?
They can find me on the Fatal J channel where I speak about getting out of my mom's basement, being broke, being disgusted with myself because I never amount to anything. And you can probably hear my mom cussing me out right now, telling me I need to clean up my room. So there you go.
All right, folks. I have a link to Fatal J's channel in the description box of this video. You have got to subscribe to him. Some of the best, most hilarious content you will find on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe to him. Erica, what you got going on? Let the folks know about.
Oh, still haven't edited that footage from the medieval festival here at Launchstow Castle, but we're getting a new router. So our tech is, like I said earlier, is being upgraded. So I'll be able to have a bedroom dedicated as an office, and I'm going to move all my stuff into that room. And I hopefully will come up with some fun content. I'm in my Halloween season. It's June is around the corner, and before we know it, October will be here. So I'm in my brainstorming projects together and shopping, DIYs. And yes, since you guys love how I decorate, I will vlog what I'm going to do to the room.
Well, I can't wait to see that. I love watching it. Erica's videos where she decorates, especially for Halloween. Let's see. What day is it? Wednesday. Thursday. Okay, so tomorrow I am supposed to be streaming a lot. No, wait, what's today? Today's Tuesday. No, it's not. Okay. On Wednesday, I don't have to do anything. Think about that for a little bit. Thursday, I will be live streaming from Disney's Hollywood Studios. We're going to be doing shows. We're going to be checking out the new Villain show. We're going to be checking out the new updated Little Mermaid show. So we get to see the little manatee. I don't know what to call it.
You get to see the mermaid plus size mermaid.
Yeah, with the
plus size Ariel.
The stuffing in the middle, the tail that looks like it was made out of somebody's curtains, and no shell bra, just looks like a sports bustier or something like that.
You
But
let me know if it's a guy or a girl.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm gonna see if dude looks like a lady. I'm gonna tell you. So we're gonna go see that show. And to probably wipe my brain, yes, we're going to go to the Frozen sing-along. I love that. I love the songs from Frozen. I've been putting that off, but we're going because I love the song. I love it. I love it. The show is hilarious. I freaking love it. It's so much fun. So much fun. So much fun. So that's what's going on Thursday. Friday night at 8 p.m., I'm going to be playing Doom again. Hopefully no thunderstorm will come through. So I have to disconnect it. But yeah, come back. I'm playing Doom 1. Enjoy me shooting monsters in the face with a shotgun.
That's a classic.
It is. Yeah. And a banging soundtrack. So much fun. So much fun. Well, thank you guys so much for supporting the show. I sure do appreciate it. The likes, the super chats, the thumbs up, the hearts, everything. If you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay crew.
Replay crew.
We will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone. Let's tidy things up.
Autobots, start your engines!
Not under the rug.
We'll keep singing without fail. Otherwise, we'd spoil it.
Ready, Prime? Let's roll.
Hosing down the garbage pail and scrubbing up the toilet.
That's all, folks.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.